How did the idea of writing this book come about in the first place?
Well, it's interesting. I was, and I'm telling that story at the beginning of the book. I was doing a project with a world-famous consulting firm that advises its clients on strategy. So I leave it up to my readers to guess what firm that might possibly be. So I was doing a project for them, which was sort of on innovation in the banking retail business, and we were riding, to the airport with the team, and they were saying, we've done lots of interesting, creative, innovative ideas over the last few days, and that's unusual because what we normally do as part of our business is really, crunch the numbers and do the spreadsheets and that sort of thing, which is sort of the more linear, analytical thinking that you find in most consultancies. And they said, but sometimes, a client comes and says, all right, we need something entirely new. We need a blank slate, and we get nervous when we do this. And that's when I said there's a need for this book, right? Because we need that. I mean, companies expect that from consulting firms, or senior leaders expect from their teams that they come up not only with the usual, that they are not just performing like robots, okay, but that they are in fact also coming up with new ideas. So I said there's definitely a chance for this sort of book. And what I told the consultants at that moment is that this reminds me a little bit of the Greek mythology of the Trojan horse. I said what your clients really, really want is a Trojan horse, because the Trojan horse story is the following. There was this war going on for years and years and years. There were the best generals, fighting it. Agamemnon was the top one, and they did the usual thing. And in most companies, we also always do the usual things. We do what we've always done, right? And he could not conquer this city of Troy. And then there was this crazy idea coming from Odysseus. And that was the Trojan horse, basically to put the warriors inside the horse and offer it as a peace offering, presumably. And then, as you know, they took the town at night, and the war was over. So this is, I think, a very nice metaphor for big thinking. It's something that just overnight can change things in business or in warfare.
How do you define a big idea versus small idea? You mentioned a lot of things like that in the book.
Sure. Big ideas have three characteristics. They're creative ideas. So you are creating something that did not exist before. The second one is very closely related to creating something, and that is it's a novel idea. So it's not an idea that's been used before in the industry, or by a straight competitor. It's a really new idea in a particular industry. And the third one, and that's the most important one, is really that a big idea has huge market impact. It changes the way competition will be viewed after the big idea has been launched. It changes customer preferences. So things will no longer be the same. And that's how I define a big think idea.
I see. Are you saying that they're too focused on the process of getting the process right instead of reaching really a good idea?
Well, it's not so much about being focused too much on the process. I think it's the wrong process. Okay, it's the standard, what I call small think process. Okay, small thinking is, well, doing your job. It's doing the way you've always done things. Small thinking is about not taking risks. It's about thinking in the short term. Now, big thinking is a different process. Okay, it is about taking risks. It's about exploring new ideas. It's about not following the usual procedures, but trying something new. And you can do this by benchmarking, for example. Take benchmarking. You can benchmark within your industry, you can benchmark outside your industry. Benchmarking within your industry is an important thing to do, but it is in a way small thinking, right? Because you're trying to copy what others are doing, right? Whereas big thinking is about outside industry benchmarking. So when I work with companies, for example, in projects, we often benchmark outside the industry. For example, for a telecom company, we might benchmark, a hotel and the service that they have in the hotel, and use that service model for what you can do in the call center. Or for their stores, we might be benchmarking entirely different industries, like, for example, fashion brands.